Hello and welcome in.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended on the station.
Welcome to the show.
Hello, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving. Liv Moods here with a little fun episode of Off Court today because I'm not sure if you can tell, I was not really feeling super great all week long. My whole family got sick. So I was not there Monday to do off field with Nate and BK and was not able to do off court either. And as you guys know, the Nuggets did play Monday night against the Knicks. And wow, am I kind of a little bit happy I didn't have to cover that game? Yeah, I'm thinking that I am because it was a tough one. It was brutal. And I learned a few things in sitting and watching that game. Obviously, I didn't talk with any of you guys about them. Then we got to watch them play the Utah Jazz on Wednesday, got to learn a few things about the team in that game as well. And then we will see this game play, or this team play again on Sunday. And BK and I will be giving you guys all things coverage there and breaking things down post game like we always do. Like I said, just wasn't feeling my best. So had to take some time away, and I'm sure you guys can still hear it. I sound stuffy and horrible, and I hate being sick. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but typically this time of the year is when I start to be like, oh gosh, I'm not feeling so good. So we're going to keep pushing. I've got a little episode for you guys. Also got this new Nuggets swag in their new colorway, like the new jerseys that they're wearing, their city edition, I think. So yeah, I got this little cute hoodie that I get to rock now. But let's talk a little bit about the Nuggets. I see some of you guys in the comments. Thank you guys for being here. I know this is kind of a random episode at a random time, but thank you guys for tuning in and hanging with me for just a little bit. So, let's flash back Monday night against the Knicks. I mean, it felt like everything was going right for the Knicks and everything was going wrong for the Denver Nuggets. And so much of that to me was just a lack of effort. And we haven't had a chance to talk about Jamal Murray's post-game presser. And to keep it very short and sweet, if you guys have tuned into the off-court shows with me before, you guys know how I feel very strongly about Jamal Murray. I love him. I'm a fan of his. I want the very best from him and for him because I want the best for the Denver Nuggets. And I know that when Jamal Murray, I think in the 2022-2023 season, when Jamal Murray scored over 25 points, the Nuggets record was 16-2. In a very long story short, that pretty much means that this Nuggets team's success is very strongly dependent on what we get from Jamal Murray. And is that a lot of pressure? Sure, maybe. But is $200 million a lot of money? Yeah, it is. So the expectations are high. And not only are the expectations high, but the consistency is expected from him constantly, right? When he's not dealing with injury, I expect him to perform well. I was actually just talking with a family member at Thanksgiving about Jamal Murray because they've, obviously seen my stuff on social media. They know how I feel about Jamal Murray and what he can and can't bring to this team. And I put a tweet out there and I said that Russ and Yoke right now are better than Jamal and Jokic right now. And I got some comments of people agreeing with that statement, and I got some comments with people not agreeing with that statement. Now, let me explain that statement because if you're looking at the plus minus and that's all you care about, obviously Russell Westbrook and Jokic together on the floor is not the same as Jamal and Jokic on the floor. But I am getting to a point now where I would much rather have effort and energy than 20 points. And I was talking to this family member and they said to me, well, he had a 20-point performance the other night. And I looked my family member right in the eyes and I said, I will not applaud a fish for swimming. That's his job. His job is 20 points. That is bare minimum, in my opinion. That is what we should expect from him, even with a twisted ankle. I mean, this is Jamal Murray we're talking about. This is the guy that for years I have been saying deserves an all-star and hasn't gotten one, Like he deserves to be named an all-star. We've seen him be one of the clutchest point guards in the league, especially as it pertains to the playoffs. So yeah, 20 points. Woo. I'm not getting overly excited about that. And maybe that just makes me a negative Nancy. Maybe that means I'm too hard on Jamal Murray, but to me, 20 points, I'm not going to get excited about 20 points from Jamal. I'm just not. We still don't have Aaron Gordon out there. I expect Jamal Murray to have 30 a night. So when you compare on average, where Jamal Murray's point line is set by Vegas compared to the other point guards in this league, it's a little embarrassingly low because the expectation from Jamal Murray is that we're celebrating 20-point performances. To me, that's not worth celebrating. That's me going, cool, keep going. That's your job. That's literally what you get paid to do. So kind of got into, that's what the Moody family does. We don't talk politics over turkey and stuffing. No, we talk sports takes. And I love that about my family because one, who wants to talk about politics over a great meal? Not me or my family. But we will talk sports and we will disagree heavily. One of my family members is a huge Cowboys fan. I was on Giants money line, which you guys already know how that went. I had to just get into my food coma and pretend it didn't happen. But we do like to talk sports over Thanksgiving meals, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So, yeah, we spent some time talking about Jamal and the fact that, yeah, maybe Jamal Murray is still considered better than Russell Westbrook. But to me, you bench Jamal, you start Russ. Why? The principle. It's the fact that the Nuggets were getting blown out. The Knicks starters were still playing, and in under 10 minutes, Russell Westbrook had 25 points. He didn't care that they were down by damn near 30 points. He was still hustling. He was playing on both sides of the court. Was he making mistakes? Sure he was. He's not perfect, but he was playing his ass off, and that is not something that I can say about Jamal Murray right now. And if you watch Jamal Murray play basketball right now and you feel like he's giving 100% effort, you have not watched Jamal Murray past this year. You haven't seen what Jamal Murray really looks like when he's giving 100% effort. And this is not it. And then let's make matters worse, shall we? The Nuggets get blown out by the New York Knicks, which the New York Knicks are stacked with talent. I knew this wouldn't be a close game. Or I knew that this wouldn't be an easy, I'm sorry, not a close game. I knew that this wouldn't be an easy win for the Denver Nuggets, right? They've struggled against worse teams, the Clippers, the Nets. This Knicks team is stacked. They've got a lot of talent. So I knew it was going to be a tough one for them. But what I didn't expect was that after getting blown out, that Jamal Murray would sit on the in his post game presser and he would deflect, which silly me. Jamal doesn't really take accountability very often. I want Jamal to just sit there one time and say, I need to be better, period. There's no buts. There's no, it's a long season. Stop saying that. Stop saying it's a long season, please. Because yes, it is a long season. But at the same time, last season, that San Antonio Spurs game to end your season shouldn't have mattered as much as it did. And guess what? You lost the 1 seed because of it. Why? Because you lost to Western Conference teams game 10 of 82, and it definitely matters down the line, especially given the nature of the Western Conference right now. It's exceptionally competitive. It's going to be a bloodbath all season long. And so when we don't get Jamal Murray playing tough, playing hard, playing competitive every single game, eventually it will matter and it will catch up to this team. And so I don't like Jamal Murray's post-game presser at all. Matter of fact, it pissed me off, if we're being completely transparent, because then he went ahead and said, yeah, we had some guys that are from LA that stayed in LA after the game, so I just don't think the focus was there. That is so rich coming from the guy who was just at a UFC fight the night before a game and then got beat by that team and only scored 13 points. That is rich. That is really rich coming from the guy who just did this in a worse fashion, in my opinion. Because sure, your teammates may have stayed in LA on Saturday night, but guess what? They didn't play again until Monday, if that's the case. Then he had to go on Twitter and say, we all stayed in LA. I wasn't throwing anybody under the bus, but that's not what you said, Jamal. That's not what you said. But then when you probably got heat from your teammates and or coaches and or the public eye, you had to backtrack on your statement. No, you said what you said. You said it. You threw your teammates under the bus. You acted like a snitch in your post-game presser, which was weird given you didn't really have an exceptional performance that game. You really didn't. Against the Knicks, you want to know who our leading scorer was? Russell Westbrook, off the bench. In under 10 minutes, scored 25 points when you guys were getting blown out the water. Why? Because he constantly shows up. It doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter if he's the sixth man. It doesn't matter if he's a starter. He shows up. And that is not something at this point in time that I can say about Jamal Murray. And it's really disappointing to me. So, do I think that what we're seeing with Jamal is a lack of skill? No, it's a lack of effort, period. He is acting like he doesn't care. And if he does care, please show us that, Jamal. Please, at this point. I mean, my God, it's just like every once in a while, I wish he would just get in front of that microphone and say, I'm playing like trash. I am not doing my job. I am letting down my teammates. I am letting down Nikola Jokic. I'm on a max contract and this team needs me and I need to be better. We don't hear that from him. Have you ever heard that from him? If I'm mistaken, please let me know in the chat because I don't think we've ever heard those words, those very simple statements out of his mouth. You understand, in the world of football, there's a lot of quarterbacks that aren't to blame, but still they sit in front of that microphone, they take blame like a true leader, and they move on. And they're better the next week than they were the last week. Can we say the same about Jamal Murray? No. And I know every time you guys tune into these shows, you're feeling like all she does is talk about Jamal Murray. You're right, because he is that important to the success of this team. And until he starts showing up in a more consistent way, I'm going to keep being hard on Jamal Murray. And his post-game presser, to be completely honest with you, pissed me off. I could not believe, you guys, picture this. I'm sick in bed. I was sick in bed all day Monday. Still, I sound horrible. So I apologize for having to listen to this ASMR version of Off Court because I still sound horrible. I still don't feel great. But I was sick in bed all day Monday and I was like, you know what? Let me just turn on the Nuggets. Maybe that'll help me. Maybe that'll help me out. Maybe I'll feel better. Well, clearly I did not. I actually think it made my sickness and my illness much worse. But then to go on social media and to see Guerilla Sports, our very own, mind you, I'm getting texts as well from our people that are at the post-game presser, and they're texting going, we've got some really great sound bites from Jamal right now. We've got some really great sound bites of Coach Malone sitting down, and the first thing out of his mouth is F that. Malone is pissed, and he should be pissed. Thank you, Steve. He should be pissed. It is very clear if you Jamal the self-aware king. I mean, you guys, it is just that I don't have words for it anymore besides we're screwed, right? He's acting like just like Mikal Bridges, just becoming a massive front runner and acting weird when things get tough. Weirdo. He's acting like a weirdo. Like Jamal, you have been a player in this league for long enough to know that there are ebbs and flows, right? And the only way you get out of the ebbs is by flowing, Jamal. Where's the flow? We haven't seen the flow in a long flipping time. And again, when I got into it with my family member who's like, well, he just had a 20-point performance. Whoop-de-doo. Isn't that kind of what he's supposed to do every flipping night? Against the Utah Jazz, you guys, the Utah Jazz, who might arguably be one of the worst teams in the league right now. Against the Utah Jazz, what did we get from Jamal? Okay, 22 points. But again, I don't want to clap for that. Forgive me. Does that make me sound like a hater? Maybe. But are we happy with 22 points? I mean, I'm not mad. I'm not mad, but against the Utah Jazz, shouldn't you be putting a 35 piece on their head? And you know what? I don't know this to be true. I really don't. I have no knowledge of what they talk about in the locker room and how the culture of this team is right now. I don't know anything. But it would be my guess. Don't you think maybe Jokic would have liked to have seen in that week of being away with his pregnant wife and his soon-to-be son? Don't you think he would have liked to have seen, like, okay, they've got it without me. Jamal will step up if he needs to. Maybe he just doesn't because I'm always there. Don't you think you would have liked to have seen a 40 piece by Jamal without him there? We didn't see that. We don't see that from him right now. And so it is exceptionally frustrating. And I guess I'm to a point right now where I'm just kind of coasting. I'm coasting and I'm hoping for the best with this Nuggets team, but I am knowing deep in my soul that until Jamal Murray cooks the way we know he can and does so for more than just one game at a time, right? He took a lot of heat after the UFC fight Not he didn't take heat for that. He took heat for a 13-point performance without Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic. So the bounce back of what I think it was a 27-point performance in that second game against the Grizzlies was kind of needed because it was like, hey, get the heat off your back here. Show people you still got it. And then the other great performance we had from him was, I think, a 28-point performance. And that was immediately following the OKC game where Russell Westbrook cooked his former team and one of the best teams in the Western Conference in Jamal Murray's starting position. So to me, the claim that I made of Russ and Jokic is better than Jamal and Jokic really has a lot more to do with not the skill, but the effort and the energy that you can see on the floor when those two are out there together. When Jamal and Jokic are out there together, it feels very lackadaisical. It feels very slow. It feels very eh. When have we ever talked about Jokic and Jamal as eh? First of all, I don't think you'll ever hear me talk about Jokic as eh. This is Jokic we're talking about, right? He's phenomenal. He always has been. He always will be. So that I'm not worried about. But the two of them together right now, it's not that magical 1-2 punch that we're used to seeing, but I do see little bits of that from Russell Westbrook. I do. I know he's not perfect, but damn, he brings the hustle. And if scoring under 10 points, or oh my God, Lord have mercy, you guys, the sick brain is here. If scoring 25 points in under 10 minutes when your team is losing by damn near 30 doesn't show that he constantly has that aggression and that energy and that competitive nature, then I don't know what does. And I would much rather have that right now than have Jamal Murray, where we get excited now when he scores 20. What the hell is that? 20 points? That should be his average, not his best, not his peak. I mean, for God's sake, it's just getting to the point where I'm like, I think Malone needs to bench Jamal for the principle of it. Because when he was out with a concussion and Russell Westbrook was cooking and finding some synergy and some rhythm with Nikola Jokic, Jamal sure came off the bench and popped off after his concussion was over. So maybe there's just that piece of it where I need a fire to be placed under his ass right now. And the only way it's going to happen is if we bench him and we start Russell Westbrook, a 17-year vet that is doing what he needs to do right now. It's that simple. Is Russell Westbrook perfect? No. No. Yeah. We got a comment here that says, couldn't agree more. Other podcasts talking about a good game on 14 points. I'm not throwing shade when I say this, but one thing that I absolutely adore about working with Guerilla Sports is we are fans of these teams, yes. But when it comes to our podcasts and our shows, I am not blowing smoke up these athletes' butts just because I'm a fan of them. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real all the damn time. Okay. And we do a really great job of that. Even our hockey podcast, I watched a couple of episodes with them where they're like, they need to be better. Simple. Like, we're not going to sit here and say, woo, Jamal Murray with a 14-point game. I'm actually pissed that he only scored 14 points. I'm sorry. Wasn't he last game 1 of 6 from 3? Oh my God. Isn't this supposed to be our lethal 3-point shooter? Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, Philip, you're right. We shouldn't be celebrating 14-point performances. And if podcasts that you watch are doing that, don't watch them anymore, please. Because that's a bunch of crap. I mean, 14 points? Why am I celebrating that? Like I said, I will not applaud a fish for swimming. Are you kidding? That's their job. That's what they do. Right there with you, LMAO. Once the record button is pressed, record button is pressed, no one is safe from criticism if it's deserved. That's it. And that's the thing, that the casuals that don't watch my shows constantly, they're like, dude, she's just a hater. She's just this. No, because I will give credit where it's due. When Jamal is on, I can't shut up about how great he is. Are you kidding me? How many times last season did I say that he was snubbed of X, Y, and Z? And this, thank you, KT. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family as well. I'm the first person to praise Jamal Murray when he does the things he's supposed to do. I am. But when he's not doing his job, guess what? I don't think my bosses at Guerilla Sports are going to compliment me if I'm not doing what I need to do, period. Matter of fact, there's probably going to be a meeting. Hey, Liv, you're not really prepared. You're running late. You're not doing what you need to do. I mean, they're not going to blow smoke up my butt. Why should we blow smoke up Jamal's? Yeah. Max. You got a Max. Yeah, I just can't defend it, you guys. The amount of money that we just spent on him, the expectations are high for a very good reason, right? He needs to do better, and that is the simple fact of the matter. So there's a lot of things I could break down from the Jazz game. There's a lot of things I could break down from the Knicks game. In that last game that we saw them play, we only got 9 points from Peyton Watson. One block, one steal. So we know that with Peyton Watson on the floor, he may not be producing offensively, but defensively, he does have upside, and it's been really, really great to watch him. And plus minus, all of our starters against the Jazz were actually in the plus. The best one that we got was from Peyton Watson and Nikola Jokic. Jamal Murray as well, plus 18. But you know what I mean? Like 22 points. Yeah, it's good. Is it enough? No. Not based on the Western Conference and what it's looking like right about now. I mean, yeah, you beat the Utah Jazz by what, 19? Good. If you hadn't, I'd be a little pissed off. We do have a really quick check-in saying Dion better start running the football in the second half. Ooh, I will say we do have some Guerilla Sports members up there right now getting us all things content. Shout out to just how flipping hard Guerilla Sports works day in and day out. It's pretty exceptional. I literally called Jesse, who's helping produce the show right now, at the last second. I was like, hey, are you available to help me? He dropped whatever he was doing. So everyone give a quick shout out and say thank you, Jesse, in the chat, because he dropped what he was doing to help me out today, which I appreciate tons. But just a little halftime score for you. Colorado up 21-0 at halftime, which, gosh, I would hope so. Okay, Oklahoma State this year is rough. And I've been a part of the Big 12 for many years, since 2016 when I went to TCU. And, Oklahoma State was one of those teams that you could always kind of, maybe they weren't going all the way, but they were pretty competitive, and it seems like they are on the struggle bus this year. So obviously hoping our Buffs can get a win in this one. Looks like they're sitting at a pretty good spot at halftime, but according to that comment from Adam, they need to run the ball more. All right, Adam, I got you. Sometimes it feels like most Nuggets podcasters are paid by Calvin Booth. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, I have nothing but respect for Calvin Booth. Love Calvin Booth. I think sometimes we get short-term memory in this world of sports, where we forget about the great things that GMs and coaches have done, and we're quick to be like, the here and now, this is horrible. Why do we pay Jamal? I have frustrations, of course, about how much we paid Jamal, but I love Calvin Booth. I can tell you right now, I am not paid by him. So I'm going to keep it real and keep it honest, and also keep it respectful. That's why I'm rocking with Guerilla. We love to hear it. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. I know we all appreciate that. And like I said, you guys, please, 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 if you are a basketball fan, I love that. And I'm happy to have you here with me. I really am. But just know we have coverage for Avs. We have coverage for NFL. We've got you covered on everything. So I just want you to know that we've got you covered on all things. Shout out Liv and Jesse. I love that. Cheers to you. And also, like I said, shout out to Jesse. Jesse works his ass off. He's stepped into manager mode. He runs all things content. He keeps us all in line. He is full-time covering the Avs. I actually believe he was on the road for maybe 10 days straight covering the Avs in their road game stretch, because I'm not sure if you guys knew this. The Avs don't actually travel with a ton of reporters. So Guerilla Sports is really trying to give you guys the inside look at what the Colorado Avs are doing, even when they're on the road. So like I said, if you're not, I appreciate you maybe following me, and that's why you saw this show, but please follow Guerilla Sports, especially on Twitter. That is where we are dropping all of our post-game presser clips, and Instagram. We do it everywhere, but make sure you're following Guerilla Sports, period, because genuinely our coverage across the board is very, we're fans of these teams, of course, and we have the most respect for these teams, of course, but the glazing stuff, if it's not deserved, why would you do that? I mean, it's not normal. What are your thoughts about Jamal's post-game presser? Pissed me off. Pissed me off. I talked about it a little bit, KT, at the top of the show. And we're going to get out of here in just a moment. I wanted to keep this short and sweet because I know everyone's got Black Friday stuff going on. And like I said, I abducted Jesse from whatever he was doing to help me with this. So my thoughts are, it pissed me off. It was everything you would expect a non-leader to say. That's the kind of stuff I expect an entitled, like, young rookie to say that hasn't learned what you should and shouldn't say in a post-game presser. And he said it. And he's been in the league how long? And he's supposed to be one of our best players, and he just got a max contract. Yeah, it pissed me off. Everything he said just absolutely infuriated me. I was not happy. It was just a total lack of accountability. He was throwing teammates under the bus. Just, if my kids someday ask me, if my kids become famous athletes and they're successful and they say, Mom, what shouldn't I do in a post-game presser? I'm playing them that clip. Don't do this. This is bullshit. Don't do it. It's not cool. There was a total lack of accountability, a lack of leadership, and just straight up deflection. Yeah, some of our guys stayed in LA. I'm not worried about that because, to be honest with you, I think the only people you could probably be talking about are Westbrook and maybe Peyton Watson, because I know he has family in California. But to be honest, I don't care, Jamal. They're not you. We're talking to you right now. We don't care what your teammates did. Matter of fact, even weirder coming from the guy who was at a UFC fight until 3 a.m. the night before a game. So shush up. Like, that kind of crap, that actually just pissed me off so bad. So I haven't had a chance to talk about it either. I've been sick all week. So I really wanted to just get on here on a Friday after Thanksgiving and just kind of give you guys the lay of the land of how I'm feeling right now. Do I think all hope is lost with this Nuggets team? No. But do I think maybe it's time to start benching people just for the principle, just to maybe motivate them a little bit more? Yes, Coach Malone, I think it's time. I do. How many times are we going to get 20-point performances from our best guy and be okay with that before we start making some changes around here? This season alone, because we're pretty early in it, this season alone, we've seen a 12-point performance from Jamal, a 13-point performance with Jamal. That was without Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon. And we've also seen a 14-point performance from Jamal. Like, those are the numbers I expect from CB, who just got thrown into the mix. Not Jamal Murray on a max contract. I mean, come on. So, anyway, I think we've got to start seeing some changes around here. Like I said, the Nuggets will be playing again on Sunday. Okay, we can expect them playing on Sunday. And I believe they're taking on the Clippers, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the Clippers. Let me just double check for you. If I am right, and it is the Clippers, this is a team we've actually lost to before. I'm not sure if you guys also saw Russell Westbrook was fined for an obscene gesture. $35,000. He was fined. He made a gesture in front of the New York bench, which, listen, I love it. I love it so much. I really, unless they're disrespectful to another player or they're like outright just like being so out of line, the fines, whatever. But like, just eat that money, Russell Westbrook, because you're on a heater and I'm loving what you're doing and you're bringing an energy to this team that they so desperately need. And I'm not going to shame you for that. So I absolutely love it. CB, great. Yeah, CB, great. Some of these comments, CB's fantastic. And he is actually, to me, shown more leadership than Jamal Murray has. It's just the truth. So, okay. Tyler said, nah, free that man. Any Knicks slander is absolutely warranted. Just so you guys know, Tyler is a Nets fan. So I would imagine anything towards the Knicks, he's all about it. Hey, Aiden G, you're more of a hockey guy. I'm hoping you tune into All Things Off Ice with our lead reporter, Jesse Montano, Megan Angley, and JJ. I think right now a lot of it has been Megan and Jesse. They're really crushing it. Like I said, Jesse was just on a 10-game. I think he was gone for 10 days on the road. I finally called him. I was like, I haven't seen you, I think, in like 5 years, it feels like. So obviously, I would hope that you're tuning into All Things Off Ice because we have fantastic, maybe some of the best hockey coverage at Guerilla Sports. What you should expect from Murray, though, is probably about the same. until he gets benched and he realizes that his job may be in jeopardy. This dude got paid and now he's comfortable and complacent. He's like, I got my money. I'm here to stay. Whatever I give them doesn't matter. There's a total lack of accountability and leadership here with him. It's frustrating and it is what it is. So whatever. At this point, I'm just like, it might take his teammates like calling him out. Like, dude, we're about done. Like, knock it off. It might take Russell Westbrook scrapping up with him and being like, hey, you're starting in a position that I would really appreciate to be playing in. So unless you plan on doing more, like, without Jamal Murray, this Nuggets team is not a contending team. That's the fact. I hate to be negative about it, but that is the truth of the matter. It's just that simple. Until he shows up the way that we know he knows how to, and the way that I think the Nuggets paid for him to show up, we are not a contending team, period. And it's very sad and it's very unfortunate. And the worst part about it is I don't know if he cares. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope he does care. And I'm just misinterpreting this. But it's starting to appear like he doesn't care. So it's tough. Okay, you guys. Well, I have so much love for you. Thank you guys for being here and listening to this very creepy ASMR sick version of Off Court. Truly, not the way I wanted to sound on this show. Not the way, I have been sick literally all week. And my poor mom, I brought her with me to the Debo show in California because she's a teacher. And so she gets the whole week off. And something about my mom is she very rarely does nice things for herself, and she loves sports. And so she took a jersey there. Debo signed it. There we go. Hold on. In hockey terms, Murray is supposed to be. There we go. Okay. There you go, Adam. I think it was Adam. No, Aiden G. There you go. From our very own Jesse, who is like lead reporter for the Colorado Avalanche. He's given you you know what, Jesse? That would be a really fun game to play. Maybe Jesse and I need to do a collaborative episode of Off Ice meets Off Court, and we compare the struggles of both teams to one another. That way the hockey fans can maybe start tuning into basketball content and go, okay, that makes sense. This guy's supposed to be that guy. That would be a very fun game. Maybe we will cook up some content for you guys around the holidays that's like very collaborative, Off Ice meets Off Court. Let's compare the rosters. Who is the Jokic of the Colorado Avalanche? And who, you know what I mean? That could be really fun. Oh, there he is! Woo!
All right, so my mic's not hooked up. I don't have this is all very janky, so I apologize.
I love this.
But I love that idea. No, that'd be great because these teams have had such weird similarities for like 5 years in a row. So we should just finally just do it and do the show that compares the two.
You guys, I love that because we had Aiden in the comments. It's like, I don't really know basketball. I'm a big hockey person. And I do feel like, if you guys don't know, Guerilla Sports started with hockey. That's like the Guerilla Sports baby. Jesse, amongst a few others, like really brought Guerilla Sports from the ground up doing hockey stuff. So we have a very large hockey fan base, I would say, Jesse, and they're very loyal. Like they are like through and through Colorado Avs. So guys, if you guys are down, that would be really, that would be really fun. We should totally do it.
I think it'd be great. I apologize for
no, I love this.
Yeah,
I was so excited.
I saw that and I was like, oh, what's the best way to compare it? So yeah, he's supposed to be Miko and he's like playing bottom six, not good. We'll do
there. It is. I love it.
I'll let you finish this out.
We're going to do it. I love it. Oh my gosh, you guys, we've got a plan in action. That's going to be fantastic. Because I do think, like, even me, I don't pay attention to hockey nearly enough. And I want to, because when the playoffs come around for the Avs, I love playoff hockey. And I also love going to hockey games. So it could be really fun to like teach a little bit to both sides. And if you're a hockey fan, you can kind of get to know a little bit of the basketball world and vice versa. So I think that would be amazing. I think we should plan on it. This is fantastic. So anyways, I will let you guys get out of here. I ran a little longer than I expected. Nobody's surprised by that. I can never shut up, especially when it comes to all things Jamal Murray. I feel like I could talk about it for 7 years straight. So anyway, let me get out of here. Let me go put a cough drop in my mouth because my God, I sound like a wicked witch of the West right now. But so much love to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I mean, we've got like over 800 of you here on a random Friday. You know, we didn't even post about this or put it out there. I was like, let me just hop on and let me just vent. Let me vent. Let me get some things off my chest with my people. So thank you guys for being here. I truly appreciate you guys more than you know. So much love for you. I hope you had a wonderful, excuse me, a wonderful and a happy Thanksgiving. And we'll be back to our regularly scheduled programs next week. It was a holiday week, so rooting for the Buffs today. We've got the Nuggets on Sunday. I'm not sure what the Avs are looking like. I'm pretty sure they've probably got some games. Let me just check really quick, just so I can give you guys the rundown here. Nuggets Sunday. Broncos Monday Night Football against the Browns. We will see our very own Shelby Harris here in the Mile High City again. Jerry Jeudy also making his return for the Denver Broncos. And of course, we'll keep you up to date on all things Broncos. We'll have some content for you. And it looks like the Avs play tonight. They play tonight in Dallas. All right. So we've got a lot of different stuff. And they play Saturday. Okay, they play tonight and they play tomorrow. So we've got some stuff for you coming your way. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you, KT. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, everybody. Really, really. And we'll have an Avs post-game show tonight. So if you're a hockey fan and you're going to be watching that Avs Dallas Stars game, we will have a post-game show for you tonight. So just tune into all things Guerrilla Sports. I'm Liv Moods. Thanks for joining me. Hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll see you very soon. Bye.